Welcome to the Balance Blueprint. I am your host, Garrett Day. We have Stacy Day on my side over here and Jason Winkler.
What's going on?
On my right side or left side, depending on how you're seeing it, I have Adam Wilks over here. Great guy, into a lot of entrepreneur type of stuff. He takes care of a lot of great people in his life too. And we have a lot to talk about, Adam. So everybody, Adam Wilks. Adam Wilks, welcome. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
I want to get into talking to you about how you got into an industry of what you're in. And I want you to explain to everybody about the industry and how you started in it.
Absolutely. So, I mean, going way back, it started in the private equity world with a group called SPE, Surrey Private Equity, which we were heavily focused on licensing to fast food brands. We went out and acquired brands like Pinkberry, Cold Stone, Blimpies, Taco Time, Hot Dog on a Stick, accumulated 40 plus fast food brands. That exit was done in about 2016. As soon as we finished that, capital was moved into the cannabis industry, started buying up cannabis brands, cultivation facilities, manufacturing facilities, which led me, again, obviously into cannabis and branding. Fast forward 3-4 years later, I get approached by Mike Tyson after seeing our successes in the cannabis space and was asked to take over his cannabis brand. Mike previously had a brand called Tyson Ranch, which ended up failing. We came in, acquired the asset, cleaned up all the old shareholders, and relaunched under Tyson 2.0. This was about 4, almost 5 years ago. Similar model to what we were doing in fast food, licensing fast food concepts. We're now licensing celebrity IP, specifically at the time, just for cannabis. Since then, we've scaled to bring on talent like Flair, launching Flair Drip. Again, focused just on cannabis at the time. We also brought in Future, 4-time Grammy Award-winning hip-hop star Future. And then slowly trickled into other categories. Woo Energy is a great example. Ric Flair's energy drink. We're now the exclusive energy drink for the Cleveland Cavaliers. We're with Columbus Blue Jackets, AEW Wrestling, and a few others. And again, one thing led to another. We got nicotine vapes now, nicotine pouches. Our hemp products are world-famous Mike Bites, which have been a huge success. Going back to 97 when Mike bit off Holyfield's ear. He jokes about it. He was fined $3 million for that incident, but now has made tenfold.
I was going to say.
Well, now those viral videos that you guys made with that is worth $3 million.
Well, he said he made more. He actually said he made more taking photos with people pretending to bite their ear than he did on it.
I bet.
He was fined for it.
That's
Kind of cool.
That's great.
And then recently tapped into completely new categories like supplements, vitamins. We now have gaming platforms live in Asia. What else we got going on? There's so many things happening.
Yeah, let's talk about the vitamins.
Yeah.
I'm curious about that. And and how'd you guys get in the headspace of the vitamins?
So everything we do, we try to keep authentic to the talent. So our cannabis products are authentic to Mike. Ric Flair was on Xanax for 30 plus years. We got him off by using edibles. So first time in his life, his parents always taught him stay away from cannabis, devil's lettuce, all this crap. But he's now, all about it. He uses it every night to fall asleep, opposed to popping pharmaceutical pills, which obviously were damaging his liver and
absolutely with that inflammation the whole night.
Absolutely.
Right.
So our whole company's about health and wellness, plant-based medicine. Mike takes magnesium all the time, many different benefits. So we created Mike-nesium.
It's good.
I did
different
see
compounds,
that, yeah.
and it's been a huge hit.
Yeah.
Live now on Amazon, so you can buy it online nationwide. We also dropped a memory and focus pill. It's a green tea based.
More like a cognitive type.
Yeah, it just kind of wakes
Clarity.
you up.
Yeah, clarity.
Clarity, exactly. Gives you the energy and focus you need to get by instead of taking that coffee in the morning.
Yeah,
or
definitely.
A Woo Energy.
Yeah,
a
just an
couple,
alternative.
Yeah, we're now live in 7-Eleven, so you can pick them up. California.
Excellent. And are you using the products personally?
Yes.
Yeah.
I use almost everything we
And you believe in your
take.
products and
Absolutely.
every single.
Absolutely.
Yes, I love that.
And our talent actually is involved in the production and development of each of our products. So all the strains we launch with Mike are strains that he actually smokes. Something like the edible cookie we made for Mike, the Big Pete's Treats 10 milligram cookie. Mike chose the recipe behind it, or the flavoring behind it, at least his favorite flavor, oatmeal chocolate chip, which is what we came out with first. We've released many after that, but yeah, Mike's behind most of the flavoring, behind our edibles, nicotine flavors, and so on.
So what is the most exciting part about being a part of these people's relationships too that you're building? You know, is it something to where within the business and a personal relationship that you have too, is it important to have both?
Absolutely. Yeah, I consider Mike one of my best friends. Rick FaceTimes me daily. Mike I speak to almost every day. I go to his house when I'm in Vegas. I'm at his house, 90% of the time, brainstorming with him and his genius wife, Kiki, who's the brains behind a lot of what we develop, including the Mike Bites idea.
Yes.
But yeah, having a relationship with them is key.
Right.
Just knowing who they are, connecting them to the product, keeping it all authentic.
Building the trust factor there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that's the big one.
Yep.
Yeah, especially with those kind of people, I would assume. Yeah.
Because you see tons of celebrities slap their name on products. Guys like Jay-Z, for example. He launched the cannabis brand. They ended up blowing $500 million. The thing went under. No one ever bought it. There was no authenticity to it.
Right, and believing in the product in a sense
Correct.
too. Right.
You want the consumers to know it's real, it's authentic. So when they walk into that store, they're looking for it and they can connect to it. The same as going to the grocery store and buying a protein bar and seeing a celebrity one versus a no-name. If you're a fan of that celebrity, you're going to pick up that brand. Being able to connect to that celebrity, whether it's a wrestling star that you've watched for the last 30 years.
Yeah, which coincides with the people you take care of as well.
Absolutely.
I know Terry Hogan you take care of too. A lot of the guys that are more legendary guys, and you're bringing back the legends, and I feel like that's a great concept.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because that's like with kids and stuff, all the like influencers that like promote products and stuff, and then most of them don't even take those things or even believe in it. And you actually, so I do nutrition at a private middle school, and they're like, hey, but like so-and-so like drinks it, and I'm like, they don't really.
Right.
It's just all marketing and stuff,
Slapping
and
a
you have
name
to
on it.
teach them to read those ingredients and to like pay attention. And I was like, I don't think they actually believe in the product. They're just selling it and making money off of you guys. So
and
it's great.
On that point, Mike has actually refused a lot of brand deals that we've brought to him just because it's not authentic to him. You've had opportunities to bring out, I don't need to mention specifics, but some products that just didn't make sense for him personally, and they would have been very lucrative for us, but we keep as authentic as possible.
Yeah, and Mike shows up at all these events and is really behind the brand, which is unique for a lot of these celebrities too.
I agree with that. The man behind it, though, you have to have the face. You have to have the face to know that these products are great, and understandably to explain these products too as well to people. I think they appreciate it, especially the fan base. When they're coming up.
Yep. And a big part of it's the medical side of it, right? Being able to help people while we're doing this, right? There's a huge part of this, including most of our international territories. It's medical only. So we launched in Germany, UK, Australia. We have, Czech Republic coming online, Macedonia, Poland, all these places. It's not a recreational product like it is here in California. It's straight medical. So there's guys that are dying that actually need these products, the plant-based medicine that we're able to bring them. So you're doing a good deed while we're able to.
Yeah, I think there's a big strong point too. I know that a lot of these Eastern medicine, if we can call it too, or any type of natural products out there, helps out also with alcoholism or anything else too that somebody's going through. And I know a lot of, fighters or whatnot too, in the UFC or whatnot, they've been saved by a lot of these products too, within the cannabis industry. What's the biggest spot that you guys have and see that is a big cannabis loving international wise? Did you have any specific area that really drew into what you guys are doing?
I'm blown away with the success we've had this last 6 months in Germany. Okay. Germany and UK, both have just exploded for us. None of us expected the volumes that we're actually producing out of these territories. I actually got to go out this summer to Macedonia to see our new facility. We have a 200,000 square foot grow in Macedonia, right next to the airport. Crazy how it works, but we're legally allowed to, drive this to the airport, throw it on a plane and fly it, feel like Pablo Escobar.
No, totally.
But taking it out to, Germany and UK and now Australia. But the success we've had in these territories blows my mind. Mike is loved more internationally than he is even here in the U.S.
I believe that.
Yeah.
He's this American god, right? One of the greatest of all time.
Global name.
There you go.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah,
Well, I
so-
think it's key too that you've built a brand behind the name. You know, I feel like a lot of these celebrity brands that just have a celebrity name as the product
Yep.
never work.
Yep.
And Karma's kind of changed that, and I got to work with them closely on a lot of products. But seeing how they build the brand as a team is kind of key to the success.
How do you feel on that? You know, building your relationship, of course, better brands coming together with Karma. You know,
What'd you call it? No, better brands?
no known better brands.
I gotta change this name, man. Nobody calls it Better Known or something. I guess like
known better brands. That actually
no, I
sounds
love
the
it.
best.
I mean, it's been a great partnership. We've become close friends, and I feel like we're building cool products and kind of seeing how the team works together. It's a close knit family. I would
It
say.
really is. I've had a chance to build a relationship with you guys too, as well, and your family, and understandably, business and personal. And you know, I think that what you've done is great, and we've talked about it too during our therapy session, also in regards, but
Physical therapy.
physical body work. Yeah, doing body work, and we'll get into that later. But you know, I want to really drive into the relationships that you've done, also with the team that you've built. And I feel like the Tyson team is such a strong team. And you've said process of elimination has been big for you,
Absolutely.
right? And finding the right teammates, I think it's big because you are talking about a family, and you're building a family and a legacy in a sense too. So let's talk about that, you know, and how you tend to wean people out, or how they wean themselves out of a relationship that's trying to be built, and for what reasons and why.
Absolutely. So our team, like you said, I mean, it's family.
Yes.
I spend more time with my work family than I do
Then you do your,
my
yep.
blood family.
Yeah.
We're on the phone all day, every day. Fitness is actually a huge part of the company. So, I mean, we have, including our partners like Jason, my right hand and COO Ryan Burke is at my house every single morning. First thing in the morning, we hit the gym together. We're able to strategize, brainstorm. So I think just the connection that we all have together.
Yeah.
And as you said, we've gone through, dozens over the last 5 years to get to our key core family
Yeah,
now.
and have that synergy, and
Absolutely.
you know, you guys really are building big time together, and in a personal,
It takes the right breed to do what we're doing, of people and our team. I mean, it's we're always working. I got team members and myself that whether we're sick, we're not feeling well, whether you're tired, we're working. There's no
on and off
it
switch in
doesn't
a sense too.
Correct.
No days off.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, no
It
days
never
off.
ends. It never ends.
7 days a week.
And we all love what we do, though. It's a passion for all of us. It's not about the money. It's one about helping people on the medical side, the ability to help our talent. Guys like Rick, again, resurrecting his name and bringing him back, right,
Yes,
to his height. And I look at it as a blessing. Every day I get up,
Absolutely.
I'm thankful for what I get to do, the team I get to work with, the partners we get to work with, the friends that we've developed along the way. Yeah, it's a blessing.
it is.
Honestly,
It is.
really
It's so fortunate to have people around you too, and good quality people, and to know that you guys can build all together and being on the same page. You know,
Yes.
it's people don't have that, and when they do find it, they keep it.
Absolutely.
And you know, I think that it is like within that personal to that business. Let's talk about your personal, because I want to get into the boys and your relationship and the fun part. We spoke about fitness, and we spoke about, of course, you know, the team and how you guys go to the gym together. You know, what was the impact for your boys to see you thriving in fitness and wellness? And, you know, what did you get them into, and what did they like?
Yeah, so fitness has been a part of my life always. I mean, I started training at 15 years old, almost 40 now, and it's every day still, part of my life. The vitamins, the supplements, the fitness. I find, if you can thrive in one and transition that into the same way that you work, with that same mindset of pushing your hardest, not giving up, you're going to succeed, right?
Absolutely.
And letting my kids see that and setting by example is for me one of the best things I can do, right? Letting them see my the healthy life that I live. My kids love eating salmon and rice. We eat our our steak. Like they
That's
eat
great.
healthy. They
So
live
nutritionally
healthy.
aware in a sense also, and just building blocks. I have 4 kids myself, and
Yep.
I have 2 boys, and I know they're into boxing as well too.
Yes.
I think probably seeing you working with so many different people too
They
in
love
an
it.
industry, they absolutely love it.
They
probably
love
thrive
combat
off it,
sports. We
right?
watch them all the time. They train. They have a boxing trainer 3 days a week. They go to a gym a couple days a week. They've been in it since 2 or 3 years old. They started karate, like basic
Incredible.
karate, which led to jiu-jitsu, which now boxing. Todd Medina, one of the first actually Mexican-American UFC fighters, is our personal trainer at home.
Excellent.
Trains me and then finishes with the kids.
Unbelievable.
And it's a blessing to see them thrive that way too.
How long have you been doing boxing for?
Myself or the kids?
No, the kids.
The kids, it's been, Dylan started about 3 years.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And they love it.
Yeah.
They love it. And them being able to meet Mike and be surrounded, they go to tons of fights. I mean, they've been to UFC, they've been to boxing matches, and being able to be surrounded by it, being able to take them in the ring right after the fight.
Oh yeah, that's
You take a lot of
memories.
WWE
Memories.
stuff too. And
Every year, they're big wrestling
That's
fans.
crazy.
So,
Yeah. They love
we,
that,
we go to
probably.
WWE every year, WrestleMania, which is the Super Bowl of wrestling.
Oh, huge.
Last year
Huge.
was probably one of the most iconic in Philadelphia.
Okay.
The Rock came back, which was
Oh, it
unbelievable
was
for
probably
wrestling
stellar.
fans.
Oh yeah, the crowd was probably going crazy.
They had Undertaker, The Rock, John Cena, like the final match.
Yes.
Cody Rhodes actually won and got the belt back. Logan Paul has done amazing things for.
No, for
the
sure.
Yeah,
WWE.
without a doubt, he's probably brought it back.
Yep.
You know,
he's
put
brought a
bit
lot of
spark into
viewers.
it.
Their viewership has exploded because he's brought a different demographic than just your standard. I've been a WWE fan since I was a kid.
Same
in the
here.
early 90s, right?
Yes.
But it's a different demo. The Paul brothers have a completely different following than you and I, right?
Yeah.
It's
Well, it's similar to what Jake did in the boxing world.
100%.
You know?
I respect what he's done so much for
it's crazy.
boxing.
I agree.
He's created a whole new world for boxing,
Yeah.
right? It's you see Showtime doesn't exist. We all grew up watching boxing on Showtime.
Yeah,
and,
HBO, Showtime.
Correct. It's not there anymore.
Nope.
Jake has transitioned them to his new MVP promotions and DAZN and all these new platforms that the YouTube stars have created to
Yeah.
It's incredible.
make this whole new boxing.
Well, it's
world.
probably so smart for Mike and Jake to do that fight because it's like
Absolutely.
the generation gap.
Yeah.
It made sense because people love Mike from, being a legend, but also the movies he's in, and then Jake. I don't know.
Yep, and
Pick
it gave the new generation an opportunity to see Mike back in the ring.
Exactly.
Yes.
Like
Well,
he-
and what's crazy is like the little kids were the ones being like, "Oh, Mike's gonna win.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mike Tyson's gonna
That
win."
was
And
beautiful to see.
I'm like, a lot of them don't even know who he is.
The talks I had to have with my kids after, I'm like, what happened there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
it's-
is.
The kids were all shocked and were
Yep.
like, "You don't even know really who he is."
But you got to respect Jake. You got to respect
yeah.
what he's been able to do
For sure.
as a boxer. A lot of people, his first few fights, even myself, I was betting against him.
Yeah.
I'm like, the YouTube
Jake?
kid.
Yeah,
There's no way he's gonna be
yeah.
these. Yes, they were the retired UFC fighters.
They're still
or the-
professional fighters,
Correct. I didn't think
I
he had a
want to
chance.
fight them. Yeah.
But I respect him so much now for
Yeah.
what he's done. Anybody that puts in that time, we're all health junkies. We're all into fitness.
Yeah.
Anybody that puts in that time, 4 or 5 years, nonstop training with the best
That's
trainers in the world, the
gnarly.
best supplements,
Absolutely.
the best technology, you
Yeah.
got to respect what he's
And
done.
he doesn't need to. He wants to.
Correct.
And that's a beautiful thing.
Wants to be the best.
He wants to be the best.
Yep.
And he's got that push and that drive. He has a lot of people around him too the same.
Yep.
Let's go into that fight. I think that this would be a good, talking about Jake and Mike, having that opportunity too. When did you guys open up for that opportunity, for that partnership to see and
That
to
was
get it combative?
earlier in the year
Okay.
because it was initially planned for July 17th was the initial date. Then Mike got sick with the ulcer, which postponed it to November 15th. But yeah, it was something Mike was determined to do. He was always saying, "I want my kids. I want everybody, even myself." We were all so young when he was in his prime, right? In
Oh, yeah.
in the early 90s.
Oh yeah.
That I don't remember him the way that
Everybody
maybe
else
guys
did.
a
We saw
decade
clips.
older.
Yeah,
Correct.
we saw
Yeah,
clips
we
and
can all
such.
watch it on YouTube.
Yeah,
My kids have
definitely.
watched
Yeah.
all these YouTube knockout videos of Mike.
Old USA
Yep.
when he was in the
Yep.
Olympics or whatnot too. Right? I mean, this is
there's a lot of classics. But
Yeah.
he even said it after the fight. He's like, he was so proud of himself. I was so proud of
I
him.
was so
Everybody
proud
was.
of him too.
Being able to sit with him right after the fight. He was calling me the second he got out of there. He's like, "Adam, I need to smoke. Where's the joints?" He took off for like
He
6-7 months,
disciplined
right?
himself,
Yep.
man.
It was impressive.
It was very
He
impressive.
cut. He was dieting. He was in some of the best. I think the best shape he's been in. In his
How was
life.
his headspace with that time frame?
It was Mike, as everybody
He
would
was
have
Mike.
expected him to have been, not
He was focused,
smoking.
right?
Harder. It was more of a challenge on the brand side to actually create content and his availability, because he was training. He'd call me and be like, Adam, I just did 2 hours on the rower, or I'm doing this, or I'm doing that. It was always fitness. He lived in the gym for 6 months.
Yeah.
So it was a bit more challenging on the business side, as far as, again, just create his availability, appearances, shooting content, but incredible for us at the same time, because, just he's the number one athlete in the world as far as Googled views, right? Like,
Right.
how many people were searching for Mike?
Oh, totally.
Post-fight, he's now in the best headspace I've ever seen him. He's on a cloud, living he's super happy. And again, he was just so proud to be able to show his children, his youngest children, Milan and Rocco,
Yes.
that he was able to get back in the ring and do what he did, right? To, at 58 years old, be able to go
That
8
that
rounds,
lasts
right?
that long.
With a
Yeah.
20, how old is Jake? 28, 29?
Yeah. Yeah.
And one of the most viewed boxing events in history, right? It was incredible for
When being there, seeing
Yeah.
the stadium so packed and like the energy there was insane.
unbelievable.
It was insane.
The whole
But like
week.
you guys think of like being like even your guys' age, like almost 40, 40s.
Yep.
Like, can you imagine fighting a 28-year-old?
No, absolutely not.
Like
No
that's like,
way.
I mean, that's
No
like
way.
you
I
guys
watched
got-
so much boxing, I would
That's
never.
fresh.
Right.
It's fresh.
No matter how much training I did, or
There you
what weight class I sat in.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Even sparring, when I get hit in the face, I don't want anything to do with it.
Yeah.
So like I'm too old for
I
this.
don't
Double
even-
headgear.
don't-
Already?
Yeah.
But Mike's a different breed also.
Yeah.
He's just,
Yeah.
he's Mike Tyson. Right?
Yeah.
He is, and it's. I think he still has that intimidating factor
Absolutely.
in him.
Absolutely.
And talking to the crew and stuff, and I was talking to Mike Angel, wonderful guy too
Yep.
as well.
Love
Shout out to Mike. And we were just talking about what he wanted to do during the fight and the walkout, and he said straight out, I want to walk out myself.
Yep.
And that was a beautiful thing.
That's a good accent.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
No, he did. You know when he offers
Good voices.
different rappers and different talent wanted to, come out with him, and
Yeah.
he wanted to be on
He
his
wanted
own,
to be on his
own headspace. It was similar to his old Butt Cheeks on Netflix, right?
Yeah, that was
I asked him in the car the other day, I go, Mike, what was that? Like, he's like, he says, I like to be loose before the fights. He
Yeah.
says. I'm like,
Yeah.
Little Versace's.
there you go. Classic.
We were on that GoPuff call yesterday, and we were talking about how you should deliver the package in those shorts.
In
The
the-
assless.
I love that.
That'd be good, right?
That'd be priceless.
Yeah. Behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Letting the secrets out now.
Yeah, but I mean, why not?
Great partner, by the way, Go Puff.
Yeah, there we
A
go.
wonderful partnership for us.
So was he happy with the result
Absolutely.
of the fight? Financially, also got taken care of.
Absolutely. He's set. He's in a good space.
He's a
right
great
now.
headspace right now. Man.
He couldn't be happier. Again, I couldn't be more proud. The fact he went 8 rounds with Jake, I couldn't be happy. And he came out, he was laughing about it. He didn't have a scratch on his face.
Yeah.
We're sitting there smoking. I wasn't smoking. I've been on a cleanse, but he was smoking at
Good
the
for you.
restaurant. Thank you. Smoking 25 years, never had a break. I've been off for 4 months almost.
Congrats.
But yeah, he's sitting there laughing, and he's like,
Mhm.
look at me. He's like, do I look like I just had a fight? He's like, I have a scratch on my face.
No, he looked
Unbelievable.
like the same.
Yep.
He wasn't tired. He was.
Incredible.
He was ready to go model right
Yep.
after.
Right?
And I mean,
Absolutely.
that party lasted till like 3 a.m, and he was
Yep.
hanging around.
Yep.
It was crazy.
He had the energy.
Yeah.
He just kept going. Mike's unbelievable. When we go travel, like we'll go to 5 countries in a week and doing all these visits all over the world. I'm dead. I'm exhausted,
Yeah.
and he's banging on I'm trying to sleep. He's banging on my door at 6 in the morning.
I don't
Let's go
give
for a
you-
run.
You're all
Go
golds
to bed,
there?
man.
I think
Let's
some
go
people
hang out
are
with
just
your
built
pigeons.
differently. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've had some crazy pigeon experiences.
Let's
traveling
talk
the
about
world,
that. That's
so-
a fun one. We know Mike's been into pigeons for a while.
Yep.
Right? And I want that story to be told. I think that people should hear that story about what he began with. I love the story. I talked to Angel about it. And when he was a kid and
Yep.
he started seeing these pigeons flying around in his neighborhood. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, so for Mike, I think and feel that pigeons are therapeutic for him. It's a therapy. I never understood it until I actually stayed at his house. I slept at his house in Florida. He woke me up super early in the morning. He's like, Adam, come outside. And we're watching the sunrise with the pigeons there. This was my first experience. We're sitting there smoking joints. And we probably sat there for about 2.5 hours just watching the pigeons. He was explaining the dominant one, this and that. And I've never been so relaxed, and the weed helped too, but but it was so therapeutic just to watch these birds fly. And then he let them out, let them do their thing, and he has his big flag that he flies around to get them to fly higher up.
Yes, yes.
And it's unbelievable how they affect his whole persona, his mood, is everything about him. It's therapy for him.
I heard he's 4 to 6 hours out there with these pigeons.
So the pigeons just come back?
Yeah. So he brings them out. He'll starve them for a short period of time, then feed them after a few days, a week, whatever it is. He feeds them so they know who's their daddy, like their boss. So they know to come home to him if they want to eat.
Yeah.
And it's wild to see, like even in Vegas, busy area or whatever, in Henderson, opens them up, lets 50 pigeons flying. I have tons of videos I'll show you guys after, just flying around in this residential neighborhood, and they stay right around them. They don't leave. And I'm always like, why are these birds flying away? Like, they know if they want to eat, they gotta come back, right?
Yeah, totally.
And all the neighbors out like next door, like, oh, Mike's outside.
Yeah,
yeah. Mike's
but it's beautiful until you see it and watch. You can sit there for hours and just watch it. It's like art. It's an art form. They're roller pigeons.
Yeah,
they sit there just rolling in the sky, and he's explaining, who's the weak ones, who's this and that, and it's crazy.
Aren't they expensive? Some of them too.
Yeah, we flew out to Denmark. Drove about 6 hours and found this unbelievable pigeon breeder that he was dying to go meet. Little town. It was really cool. This small family. They're making us this little home-cooked meal out back. Mike's hanging with the kids. And just sat there watching. He ended up acquiring like 50, 60 birds from that guy.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, you're talking 6 figures.
Damn.
In buying pigeons in each of these visits. He just bought a block of like 200 from South Africa. But there's a few areas, I think it was like the UK, South Africa, Netherlands, that there's some key pigeon breeders around the world. Yeah. And then you look at normal pigeons on the street and he calls them rats.
Yeah. Didn't he call the one that Jake got him a rat?
No, it wasn't pedigree.
Yeah, that's crazy.
The eyes were different color.
To take it.
Yeah,
he did.
And then Jake brought it out.
Yeah,
at the fight.
I thought he
bring it out when he
thought he fed it to his falcon.
No,
no.
That's terrible.
That's terrible. That's terrible.
It's not a snake and a rat.
That's very true.
But yeah, the pigeons are therapy for Mike. It's a beautiful thing.
They and they don't all come home. I know that. Yep. There's some rolling pigeons that sometimes pass through rolling. The little baby guys, and then also they get caught in trees and such too.
Yep.
Or they just don't come back. So what does he do with those guys?
Well, there's some of the weak ones that I guess will just, sometimes the hawks will get them
or just give them
He only wants the strong ones.
Yeah,
I think that's
well, having the best of the best, I feel, right?
Correct.
The best needs the best.
He's got an amazing collection. I mean, from Vegas to New York to Florida. It's impressive what he's got. And they're not just like small pigeon coops. We're talking, guest houses that are built into pigeon coops, right? Like
So he has that in
each city. He's got that he has his real estate in.
That's cool.
He's got a pigeon. Really he's got a pigeon person in every state. Yeah,
he has to probably.
Yeah, no doubt.
But it all did start in New York, where Mike's originally from, Brownsville.
Yeah, and I think
cool.
He was cleaning pigeon coops. That's what I heard, and went to 4 different guys' houses cleaning pigeon coops, and I heard that he had gotten a pigeon given to him and was walking home.
Yeah.
And some bully ended up having a go at his pigeon.
Yeah,
and he didn't like it. So
that's also where he learned to fight. Well, not learned, but where he
I think he had that. I think he had that OPK, and that was it.
Yeah.
The guy.
That video you guys went to his hometown or something in Brooklyn, right?
In Brownsville.
In Brownsville, yeah. And he saw some fighter he used to fight with, and you guys they took off their shirt and started fighting in the street.
That was
like
great.
Around. What was his name?
Oh my God.
One of his
Briggs.
Okay, yeah.
Shannon Briggs.
Yeah, that's
that was a good video.
That was
funny.
That was
viral, got like 60, 70 million views.
If somebody hasn't seen it out there, go to Netflix. They have a great documentary on him too as well.
Well, they're about to
the one leading up to the
leading up to the fight. I think that's that 3-part docu. If you haven't seen it, check it out with Jake and Mike.
And a lot of that was actually shot by Mike Angel and Dre.
Yes, which
cool
did an incredible job.
It was a great, it was great.
Oh, it's great. I mean, the creativeness that Dre has too.
Those two have played a huge part in our overall content and everything.
Those guys are
everything
wonderful.
You see. Really.
Aaron too.
Yep.
I mean, those guys. Like I said, you have a solid crew.
We have an amazing group. And Rod that runs all the marketing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right, Rod.
Group of people.
Shout out to Rod.
I saw Rod.
So let's talk about other people you represent too. You know, what's so I know Future's one of them.
Yes.
Let's talk about that. And what are you representing right now? What is he working on?
So Future's very heavily focused on cannabis,
Okay.
being organic to him and
Okay.
not authentic. Smokes every day. I mean, if he didn't call me once a week saying he needs more flour, I would I'd be concerned. So everywhere he goes, we make sure he's set up with his products. Every studio he's in last year, or this year, sorry, was a huge year for Future. 3 new albums dropped. First male of our decade to break 11 platinums.
That congrats. Congrats to
and then
Future.
Female Taylor Swift, I think, is at 10, which is pretty impressive.
Very impressive.
And so, yeah, cannabis is huge for us. We do have our blunt wraps, which he actually just featured yesterday on, I don't know if you guys saw that video GQ put out.
Yeah.
of,
I haven't seen it.
Future's Essentials.
Okay.
I went through like 10 different things he's always needs around him.
Yeah.
including His Evil
Okay.
by Future blunt wraps. And then on the 20th, which this will come out before or after,
Yeah.
we'll be launching the Evil by Future merch line. So
Awesome.
everything from jeans, jackets, sweaters, hoodies, t-shirts, hats.
Where would you be able to find that?
Those are going to be across nationwide. We have a few retailers on the East Coast,
Okay.
which will come out in the press release when we drop that.
Excellent.
And 2 or 3 here on the West Coast, which are taking it on, and then everything
great.
online as well.
That's great.
But cannabis is the big one for Future.
Yeah,
Just
and
keeping it authentic.
And I
right?
think in the cannabis space alone, you're a huge person in the cannabis spaces, and you've built so many relationships there. You know, if you can remember back to the first person that you had in the cannabis industry, you know, and for what reasons you wanted to get into it too. I know plant-based medicine is big for you. So I'd love to talk about that.
Yeah, so I
Person that
started,
influenced you.
I remember at 14 years old, I
Mhm.
remember being on, I think it was ICQ or AOL at the time, sitting at home on my computer. It was a Friday night with one of my buddies, or talking to one of my buddies. He's got,
Yeah.
my mom's out of town, come smoke at our house.
Mhm.
That was my first experience with cannabis.
Okay.
Fast forward 3 years, at 17, my grandma had a brain tumor. This was the first time I experienced cannabis from a medical perspective. She called me up. She's like, Adam, I know you have weed. I was selling weed at the time. She's
Just
like,
all know what
"Can
you're
you bring me a
doing.
joint?" So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
actually took she lived downtown Toronto. I was up north in the suburbs.
Yeah.
I took a subway downtown, went to my grandma's house. First time I got to smoke sitting inside. So me and my grandma on her floor,
Oh, that's
Come on,
cool.
man.
in her family room,
Yeah.
smoking a joint. And I looked at her, and as she was smoking, I saw this like peace come over her eyes. It was one of those, I'll never forget that.
Yeah.
One of those beautiful things I've
Yeah.
ever seen. And at that moment, it kicked in, and I realized that it's a medicine. Before that, it was just hanging out in high school with your friends.
Definitely.
smoking
What
weed.
year was that? What year was that?
I was 17, so I'm 39.
That's great. Long time ago. I mean, it
So
was still
32 years ago.
still underground in a sense.
0304.
Yeah,
Yeah.
crazy, right?
Right. And grandma just kept on it.
It's my only living grandmother or grandparent still. She's 97 now.
Still smoking.
So she-
Dementia.
Wait, so she beat the brain tumor and all better?
Oh yeah. She
Yeah,
beat
that's
all
great.
that. She's been great.
Yeah, that's great.
Her, I mean, back on the health side, she's my only grandparent that also yoga until she was like in her mid 80s.
So good.
That's
all her
cool.
vitamins, plant-based diet, and super healthy woman.
My grandma's 94. She says the only reason she's alive is, or 95, because of her vitamins.
Really?
She like believes in her vitamins more than
a
anything
whole
in the
like
world.
tray of
Yeah,
vitamins
like
every morning.
Oh,
The same
yeah.
one she
I
orders on
remember
TV.
sleeping at
Yeah.
watching it. I'm like, how many pills is this?
Right?
woman taking?
Individually take one.
Yeah, she'll be like, take your vitamin C. I'm like, all right. Yeah.
One at a time. But
So,
that was
yeah.
when I first came across it as a medicine.
Yeah.
Continued to smoke. I mean, the last 25 years. Sold it obviously for a few years after that until getting into the real business world. And then getting back into the cannabis space was for me a beautiful thing. I mean, my mom was all upset about it after going through what she went through when I sold weed as a kid.
Yeah.
But now being legal, it was completely different, right? It
Yeah.
was
I
a
think-
blast to be able to. We actually acquired 2 of the first 7 licenses in Florida, which was amazing at the time. Huge success for us. One we sold off to Cresco, one was to AYR. In California, focused on acquiring the best in each category. So we went out and looked for the best cannabis beverage, the best cultivators, the best vape company at the time. This was like 2018, 19, or 17, 18, 19. I'd worked with some amazing people, amazing brands, and just built my knowledge now, a decade almost in the legal cannabis space.
Yeah.
Opened up a dozen retail stores here in California, opened up another 9 in Florida. The brand then went to Canada. They opened another 50 in Toronto. So
Great.
it's been an amazing ride. Love cannabis.
Yeah.
And being able to do something you have a passion for has just been
It's the
a
best.
blessing.
It's the best. And knowing that, of course, being nutritionally aware of
Yes.
everything too, I know that you're getting into investing also into some new places that are coming out.
Yes.
And let's talk about that. I know Mr. Charlie's.
Yes, that's
Let's
correct.
talk about Mr. Charlie's because I feel like it was an incredible concept for everybody to understand. And for what reasons? Because we all enjoy a certain place.
Absolutely. So Mr. Charlie's that's an interesting one because completely off, track from everything else that we're
Yeah,
really
no,
doing.
But
Definitely.
kind of going back to your roots, right?
Correct.
Yeah,
So I've
absolutely.
again spending a decade in the fast food space.
Yes.
It's what I know. It's
Yeah.
licensing, very similar to what we're doing now, licensing celebrity IP, licensing fast food IP. But Mr. Charlie's hit home for us. I mean, it's vegan one, which Mike doesn't eat meat.
Mm-hmm.
He does eat his fish and so on, but doesn't eat meat. So he loves Mr. Charlie's and the food itself, which was a big part of it. But the story behind the founder was what hit home for Mike. He
Okay.
was, Taylor, founder of Mr. Charlie's,
Yes.
was actually homeless. Went to the Dream Center. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Dream Center.
Explain the Dream Center
All over
for
the U.S.
people.
They
Yeah.
bring in, homeless people, incarcerated individuals, drug addicts, and so on, and help them get back on their feet. Taylor came in there at the low of his life. He was homeless and went into for a second chance, came out and came up with this idea of Mr. Charlie's. They gave him $1,000 to get his life started again and led him to opening his first Mr. Charlie's, bringing the right people together behind it.
Yeah.
So Mr. Charlie's model is giving back and hiring from the Dream Center. So a lot of our employees, it's all over social, but you can hear their stories. And,
Yes.
That's cool.
it's amazing to be able to do what you love again and be able to give back. It's so a lot of what we're doing, even we had the food truck at the fight in Dallas, and
That's
the whole
what I
week
heard.
leading up to it at the press conference, at the weigh-in, and our profits, actually, we didn't make any money on that. The profits were given back to charity for the whole week.
It's
So
great.
again, back to what we were saying, it's
Yes.
being able to do what you love and supporting the community, giving back is a blessing for all of us.
Yes.
So that was a big part for Mike. The connection that Mike has, as everybody's aware, with the Toad and DMT and the ceremonies that
Yes.
he's done to create the new Mike, the Tyson 2.0 of Mike.
Yep.
Taylor's in the same mindset about plant-based medicine and using psychedelics to just benefit his life
And
as a
enhance
whole.
your life.
Absolutely. So that's what led us to Mr. Charlie's. Since then, we've been able to help with our star power to scale and grow. Started with one in San Fran, one on Melrose and La Brea. We now have one in Australia, with a few more opening in Australia.
Mhm.
We have a few coming online on the East Coast. We're about to press release that, so I don't know if I can say the state yet. We are opening one in Brentwood first week of February. So Mike will be there for the ribbon cutting. We have a few other celebrities coming in, some very popular vegans from Beverly Hills that everybody watches their reality
respect.
TV shows.
Respect what you guys are doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Right.
it's not, and it's not like fake meat, right? It's
No,
like
it's all
there's
real. We all have
real
our own
organic,
IP
like,
on all the product. We're 98% non-GMO. We're
Yeah.
working on tweaking that
Yeah.
last 2%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a healthy alternative to fast food. It's
Yeah.
affordable vegan too. Most places you go eat vegan,
Mhm.
you're spending a fortune to try to eat healthy
Yeah.
and vegan.
Yeah.
Our sandwiches have like 30 grams of protein in them, which
Incredible.
is incredible.
It tastes great too.
That's it too.
Yeah.
Me and,
Yeah.
me and Jason got to take the kids by, which
Let's
was
talk about
was
it.
a big test for
Yeah,
me. 'cause
kids
I
are the
love it.
best. They're
my
so
kids are so
honest,
big.
That is
They're
the-
gonna say how
Dude,
they
Same,
feel.
man.
Right?
I brought my 3-year-old.
Yeah,
I love it.
Butter,
Yeah.
Jake, Dylan, all of them were blown away. We didn't tell them it was vegan yet, but
Yeah.
they were
Yeah.
all blown
Yeah.
away. They all had the chicken sandwiches, the burgers, the nuggets, the fries. My kids were like, these fries taste just like, we don't like to say it,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
the Big M.
Yeah.
And afterwards I told them it was vegan. Jake's like, no way. That
There's
was-
no
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't tell them before. You
Yeah.
never tell them before.
Yeah.
My kids are like, this is
You
gluten
can't.
free,
You
isn't
can't.
it?
The placebo effect is real.
No, you couldn't. I mean, you could barely tell. I couldn't even tell. It's just very
I'm obsessed
quality.
with it.
Yeah, it's quality food, and,
I
and it gives you that
looking
fast
forward to it.
food like vibe and taste, but with you don't feel like shit afterwards.
Yeah.
It's like
Well, that's it. I ate
Yeah.
the entire menu our first time trying it
Mhm.
before investing.
Yeah.
And I thought I'd feel like crap. I mean, I had a chicken sandwich, nuggets, fries, and a burger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me and Ryan went up to
Yeah.
have it all, and I thought I was gonna walk out feeling like garbage. You go eat at McDonald's,
Yeah,
like that,
no, no.
you're sick the rest of the day. You're on the toilet.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt like $1 million.
Yeah.
We were doing meetings all day.
So
My
Jason
stomach was
said
great.
too,
I'm
he's
like,
like, man,
this
I
is
feel
unbelievable.
great.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's have another hamburger.
Dude,
Give it a
Garrett
go.
was going to
Let's go
drive
get
up there and try it.
I was.
Done it yet?
No, to Brea, but you know what? I'm gonna go for February for that Brentwood one.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll
I'm gonna
up
be
for the
there.
opening. That'd be
Yeah,
fun.
I absolutely would
great.
love to.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
We'll have Mike there for the ribbon cutting.
Sounds
that'd
good.
be
That'd
exciting.
fun. That'd be way fun.
Yeah.
Hi, Michael Smith.
Oh, he's out there.
How you doing, buddy? Come on in.
No, you know, walk in.
Yeah, why not?
Do a little walk in.
Let's do a walk-in. Let's see Michael Smith here at the treehouse.
You know what? I think something that I've noticed recently, just talking to people about our business and what we do, is licensing. Not everyone kind of understands the concept of it, and I think it'd be kind of cool to hear from you, like what licensing is and how it works. And you know, I feel like people have an idea, but they don't really know, and it's a pretty simple concept, but it's just not well known.
Yeah, I mean, every brand you see out there is licensing. Whether it's Disney, whether it's the NFL, whether it's Tyson 2.0 or McDonald's, every one of them is a licensing model of some sort. Any fast food chain you're seeing out there, you're going to it because you're comfortable with the brand. If you're gonna go see Garrett's Burgers on the side of the highway, and you have a choice to stop there or at Burger King, McDonald's, Mr. Charlie's.
Yep.
Any of these other brands, you're going to gravitate to
Garrett's,
the brand
for
with
sure.
wellness, right?
Yeah, only so many people are good with the hole in the walls.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely.
No. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Though? Like you're
Yeah.
gonna
Completely.
gravitate to it. It's the same as when you're going shopping for clothing, whether
Yes.
you're going for in the grocery store.
Mhm.
You're going to the brands you're familiar with, and those are all done through a licensing model where the manufacturer is paying a royalty to the brand to use that IP. So we're taking celebrity IP, Mike Tyson, Ric Flair, Future, and we're licensing that IP. The value's in their NIL, their name, image, and likeness.
Okay.
We're licensing that to different manufacturers around the world to license different products, whatever that might be, whether it's nicotine vapes, whether it's edibles, whether it's energy drinks,
Mm-hmm.
to use that celebrity name to strengthen the brand awareness and drive consumers to acquire the product. And it's all about familiarity and being, having that connection to the talent or the fast food chain, right? Every Pinkberry, every Cold Stone out there was licensed through these licensing royalty models, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a formula.
Yes.
Yeah. So they pay a royalty for the marketing support, and the brand behind it really is kind of the value there. So yeah, no, I think it's the best model, I think in the business space where you're not having to come up with capital for every single product category that you do.
Yep.
And you build a strong brand globally. Yeah.
Even the shoes. I mean, I know you're a
Woo, shoe connoisseur.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Any
It's like sushi.
collab, yeah. Any collab you see on the shoes,
Yep.
that's all done through licensing models, right? All
Yep.
the fashion you're seeing, all these Kith collabs that you're seeing out there, right? Those are all
Yes.
done through licensing
Yep.
models. It's done in every single category, every industry. Licensing is such a huge part of consumerism as a whole.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's everything.
Exactly.
There's from Coca-Cola to name it.
Buying a Coca-Cola t-shirt.
Any brand,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Any brand you can think of.
Yeah, Brixton did some Coca-Cola stuff.
So they
Yeah,
license
they
Coca-Cola.
That was a good one. That was a good one. They did really well on that one.
Yep.
I want to talk to you about how you're feeling today
I feel great.
right? Let's
So,
talk about it.
I've had this pain training for 20 plus years, pain in my shoulder and my back for years and years. The back's been getting worse, but the shoulder's just horrible. I thought I was gonna have to have surgery or something. I've been able to sleep on my right side in a couple of years at least, or if I do, I wake up and I'm in this crazy pain. Last night I went home and I
You're
couldn't
like-
believe. It was crazy. I'm rolling all over. You don't understand how loose how loose it is now. Like it was so tight, my shoulder. I couldn't move. I know we tried to fix it quick at one of the shows,
one of the champ
I think
shows.
it was a year or so ago.
Yeah.
And it felt good. This is unbelievable. I
Yeah.
still can't believe it. I've told 20 different people.
I know. Yeah, I think I talked to you right after. You're like, dude, I don't know what he did. What he did, but I feel,
don't know
I
what
feel
he
great.
did, but this is like
I always tell
unbelievable.
people
Magic
he's
wand.
magic.
Yep.
I
Magic
mean,
fingers.
It's just magic.
It really is. We spent 2 hours together.
We spent 2 hours
and
together.
it was one of the most relaxing, incredible experiences. The energy in there is unbelievable. The place is
Appreciate that, Adam.
beautiful.
Thank you, buddy.
And
Appreciate
you're
it.
part of that design.
That was Stacy.
Really well done.
Thank you.
He's the energy though. He's the one that's in there.
Absolutely.
All day,
You
every
feel
day.
it though.
Yeah.
I work out every morning and then I go in my sauna at home. And it's good. Even just sitting in the sauna at the facility, I almost fell asleep in there. I was so calm and relaxed. It was just a different energy.
Yeah.
It felt unbelievable.
Appreciate that, man.
And no, I appreciate you.
Yeah,
It was
and
amazing
I'm glad you got
to come through and-
everything that you can out of it too.
absolutely.
And then, of course, that aftermath too, what we talk about. And
Yep.
I know you're super active and you're super healthy. So everything is just going to get that much better.
I appreciate
as we
it.
go. Yeah,
Appreciate
of
you,
course.
man. That was,
Yeah,
it was
appreciate you too,
unbelievable.
brother.
Great experience.
Thank you.
Can't wait
Some
for more people to
more,
come in
yeah,
and
more to
experience
come
it.
too. And
Yep.
we're gonna spend some time together, brother. It's gonna be fun.
Absolutely.
Garrett, how long have you been doing physical therapy for now?
I've been doing
Not
body
physical
work.
therapy.
Yeah, I've been
Okay,
doing
what
body
do I
work.
call it? By the
Yeah.
way?
We don't even know. I feel like
Do I call it body
needs
work
its
or
own
physical
Yeah,
therapy?
it's more
honestly.
body work. Yeah, because I'm
It's
Eastern
not
medicine
anything's
based.
out there.
And yeah, I've
it's
done it
its
for
own.
22 years.
Yeah, it's its own.
And I feel like just different modalities. I've gone through so many different ways of thinking process, also just different certifications and stuff like that. And then you tend to do your own mix of things. So you
Your
have
gifts
to go
came out. That's what I think. All
Yeah.
this stuff, and it kind of created his.
What do you tell
gift and
people
his
you do?
calling is how I feel.
I tell them I'm a healer,
A healer. There you go. I like that.
and that's what I do. I help people out as much as I can, and whether it's an emotional, physical, spiritual, we do find out specifically, and we address it. And I think that's the fun part about it. It is a therapeutic feel when it comes down to it, and I think we just need to explain to people and understand that there are things out there that you can do besides a normal base Western medicine physical therapist or somebody that a massage therapist, something like that. So I'm kind of floating in the world alone and enjoying it.
That's
And,
good.
yeah, and I'm just here for everybody and their support for anything that they do and to make people better.
Yeah.
And better
Feel
emotionally
better.
and feel better and be more conscious. I think that's a big
Yep.
one. Consciousness is huge. We never want to be subconscious. We never want to be in the backside because it's always presence and there's always some vibration sequence that we're having and feeling, just like we're doing now too, and those feelings that we want constantly. So it is peaceful to know that. And
Yep.
that's what I'm here for.
Yeah, and you
Ladies
help
and
everybody hit their max performance.
And
the
that-
ability, the
and the-
ability to
The
do now
ability
what
to
I-
take, yeah, and I feel
Yeah.
ability and like people's abilities, they sometimes feel like it's just the last case scenario, right? And they feel like they're getting older and they feel like they need XYZ on that. But to take someone and knowing that the body heals itself too,
Mhm.
and then understanding what we need to do. I'm more of a fascia collagen manipulator. So for me, I like to take it out and I like to address the range of motion. So for range of motion purposes, like yourself, your shoulder, right? Have a couple years. And so to know that, hey, where do I go and what I'm going to do? So Adam, as you know, you've been lacking range of motion. You go to the gym every single day. You go with the same guys. You do the same movements. And in a sense, you know what movements to stay away from. But now we're conscious enough to understand that we can do those movements.
Yep.
And so going through those range of motions and understanding that, I think, is the biggest aspect. And to understand the confidence booster of what we can do and to change things. We always have to change things. We always have to change regimen, everything else too, and mindset. So
Well, I mean, I think the biggest thing too is if you're not feeling well, you can't perform in business.
that's it. And it's
Or
it really is.
your mindset in general.
That's
you know?
it. It's
Because
always
if I'm feeling crappy, I don't even want to take some phone calls sometimes. Like,
Right?
I'm just like, like
it's
I don't know.
absolutely agree.
If your mindset's different, you're doing better in your work,
Right?
in your health, everything.
Consistency is key.
Yeah. Or along the lines of like the people that are not able to do the things they love anymore.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Those people being pulled out of whether it's like surfing or working out or certain things, them being pulled out of it, like that, like mentally is taxing on somebody.
Yeah.
And I've seen him actually bring people to be able to do what they love again, and they completely, their entire lives change. And that's like the sad.
Well, and I think
Well,
the
even
mindset
yesterday-
too with Garrett
Yeah.
and you, even you, Adam, like you guys are both positive people,
Very positive.
and you can tell. And I think that kind of equates to doing well in business and other things. So
Appreciate that.
keeping the mindset right.
But even yesterday, I haven't been able, I worked out afterwards.
Great.
And the ability
yeah,
to
sorry.
do, like when I do dips, I was limited on my range of motion for the last few years.
Yes.
watching how low I could get on a dip because of the shoulder, it was night and day. I mean, I was
You were
fully,
dropping
like, I'm all the
down.
way down. You know, I was hitting 90s
It
before.
was right after you got done.
Yeah, I went home,
Oh yeah,
got a quick pump in.
that's
I
great.
tried to get you to join me.
I know,
but,
but I was telling you, I was like,
Way to go, Jason. Where's your commitment?
I was at a hydration room.
No
getting
days
an IV.
off.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
It's what I was saying before. I don't stop. I work out when I'm sick, when I'm not feeling well. It's the same.
You don't feel
with work.
worse
When I work out? No,
when
I
you're
feel
sick.
better.
When you
When
have
I'm sick, I try to do lighter,
Yeah.
higher rep, and more cardio.
Sweat it
sit in
out
the
or
sauna.
something.
Adjustments need to
Yeah,
be made.
correct. But I don't. It's the same with work. You don't stop.
Yeah.
There's always go.
You ever try to do a cold plunge when you have a cold?
It's
not
an
good.
oxymoron there.
It's
I've done that.
That's
I've
one.
done that.
That's one I haven't tried.
Sauna would be smart, but
I've
I've
done
done
the
that.
sauna.
It's so bad.
I think my body will be
I
a lot
I
more
was in that
sensitive.
mindset. I was like, I gotta just do it no matter what. And I'm like, fuck, this is a terrible idea.
Yeah.
I find the sauna helps. No matter how you're
Sauna,
feeling, the sauna
yeah.
always helps.
Yeah, it's on that.
Always
It relaxes. Just
Yeah.
to sweat
Yeah.
everything out.
detoxing.
Yeah.
Steam dry or infrared, just get us in the sauna and sweat it out. Feels good.
But it's all about pushing. Go beyond your
stop.
limits. Always continue to push. And
Yes.
again, with your healing, gives you ability to come back and push harder than I've ever been able to for many years.
Yeah.
And I saw it in everything I did yesterday, all the different ranges of motion that I could hit
Yeah.
that I wasn't able to because of my shoulder or my back. I did deadlifts for the first time yesterday in a long time.
That's good.
I'm lighter.
Yeah, careful.
Like I'm throwing just a plate on each side. I'm
Yeah,
using
yeah.
the hex bar,
Yep.
where you're standing in between. I can't do the front anymore. Just a little rough on the back.
Yeah, yeah.
But it felt great to get back on it.
And your personal trainer is going to keep you going too,
Yep.
with that, which is great. So, open up range of motion with him as much as you can now, and for him to understand it.
Absolutely.
That's the fun part about it too.
Yep. I'm excited to get another boxing session in now. And
Heck yeah, right. To really feel how you feel,
Absolutely.
right, with that right.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. Get that shoulder loosened up.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for being on this show,
Thank
Adam.
you for having me.
We appreciate
it.
you so
Thank you,
much,
brother.
and let's have
Thank
a
you,
good
guys.
time tonight too, as
Let's
well,
do it.
with our charity event.
Let's do it.
Uh,
Get the kids
Another
out.
boxing
kids
match.
out.
Have
There's
some
Jared's
fun.
there's celebrity boxing
Yeah.
match.
That'll be great.
Yep.
Be cool.
Taylor Shoup.
All right.
Derek
Let's do
Medina.
it.
Let's go. Thanks,
Thanks,
guys.
man.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.